Well, hello everyone, and welcome to episode 116 of Impact Makers. Well, Dustin, last week was a big milestone, deadline for tax folks, and we're fastly approaching the April 30th deadline for our audit friends. And so, you get to end of the busy times here, and it's time for reflection, right? Because they say, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, is kind of the definition of insanity, right? So if, whether it was good, whether it was bad, firms should be doing something shortly after the end of their busy times. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, so first off, congratulations on completing another busy season. Kudos, give yourself a pat in the back. Some of you may say this was a good busy season. Others may say this was terrible. But wherever you are on that spectrum, it's like you said, it's important to spend some time, probably over the next month or two, to reflect and evaluate. How are things going? This is one of the best times to identify areas for improvement. And so don't just go into the summer funk too early without doing some homework. So we strongly encourage firms that we work with to do debrief sessions May, into maybe early to mid June, while busy season is fresh, some of the process is fresh, and really look at it from an angle of how can we get better. And like you said, if you're not actively making changes to your process, trying to do things differently, and when I say changes, not just technology,
Hmm.
but the workflow and how it gets done and how people work together and interact and so forth, and leveraging and all that good stuff. It could be the definition of insanity. So you're just taking a breather for a few months, going right back into it, busy season, taking a breather. I mean, at some point that gets doesn't that get overwhelming? Doesn't that lead to burnout? So if you want to do something different, let's do it now. And then one bit of advice that we'll give you too is don't over CPA it. Don't overthink it. Keep the questions that you ask your team members to learn and get feedback. Keep it simple. We've got three basic questions we ask in all of ours. Basically, what's going well, what didn't go so well, and then their thoughts on improvement, getting their specific ideas on what they would do to improve. We got some, more specifics in there, but just high level. That's what we go through with our clients. You don't need a 70 question survey. You don't need a 30 questions. Write this on a scale of 1 to 10 or 1 to 5 or anything like that. Just get real input from those at different levels in the process. Identify these are focused on. And before you make that next technology purchase, before you spend that next those next dollars on AI training, know what you're actually trying to solve.
Yeah, 100%, Dustin. You got rolling there. I was gonna wrap us up by saying, the beauty of doing this is, first, don't forget to celebrate any successes that you identified. If you did something process wise, technology wise, people wise, data intake wise, client interaction wise, whatever it is, if it went well, celebrate it. Let everybody know, hey, this change may have been hard, may have been easy, but it went well. And
Yeah.
then those opportunities where you still have tension, within the firm, whatever it may be, technology, process, people, again, whatever it is, those are the things that you should develop some sort of plan to do something different. And it's that plan that you can go out and have in your back pocket as you're talking to the different technology vendors, or different things that happen during conference season. Is you're more you're in a better spot to deal with the the salespeople out there.
Absolutely.